Revenge trading is not a strategy problem. It's not a discipline problem, and it's definitely not something you fix by telling yourself to stop doing it. If willpower worked, you would have stopped already. You know it's destructive, you know it's bleeding your account, but the second you take that first loss of the day, something switches inside you, and before you even realize what's happening, you're 3 trades deep, risking twice your normal size, chasing setups that don't exist, desperately trying to get back to even. And here's the worst part. It's getting worse in 2026. The market is faster, more volatile, more emotionally triggering than it's ever been. The algos are designed to stop you out in reverse. The fake breakouts are cleaner. The whipsaws are sharper. You're getting baited into bad trades more often, which means more losses, which means more emotional damage, which means more revenge spirals. If you don't fix this now, you're not going to make it through the year. I'm not going to tell you to journal more or meditate or take deep breaths. That's not how this gets fixed. Revenge trading is a neurological loop, and you need to interrupt that loop at 3 very specific points. Do this correctly, and revenge trading stops being a problem within 2 weeks. Ignore it, and you'll keep repeating the same cycle until your account is gone. Let me show you what I mean. 2 traders, same skill level, same strategy, same starting capital. One of them hasn't revenge traded in 4 months. The other revenge trades 2 to 3 times a week, and his account is down 38% since January 1st. The difference isn't that one has more discipline, it's that one understands the 3-step system that makes revenge trading impossible. Let's break it down.
Step 1. You have to predefine your loss limit before the session even starts. Not during the session, not after the first loss, before you even open your charts. And I'm not talking about some vague idea like, I'll stop if I'm down too much. I'm talking about a hard number that's non-negotiable. Here's why this matters. Revenge trading doesn't start after you lose. It starts in the gap between the loss and your next decision. In that gap, your brain is flooded with cortisol. Your rational mind goes offline. Your limbic system takes over, and all it wants is to escape the pain of being wrong. It doesn't care about your strategy. It doesn't care about risk management. It just wants relief. And the fastest path to relief feels like winning the money back immediately. If you don't have a predefined rule in place, you're making that next decision with a hijacked brain. And a hijacked brain will always choose the trade that feels urgent, not the trade that's actually good. This is why telling yourself, I won't revenge trade, doesn't work. You're trying to use logic in a moment when logic isn't available. The trader who fixed this, let's call him Daniel, he set a rule at the start of the year. If he loses 2% of his account in a single session, he's done. Doesn't matter if it's 2 trades or 5 trades. Doesn't matter if he just saw the best setup of his life show up right after he hit that limit. 2%, session over. No exceptions, no negotiations. He doesn't trust his brain to make good decisions after that threshold. And because he made that rule when he was calm, when his rational mind was fully online, it's easy to follow. There's no internal debate. The rule decides, not his emotions. The trader who's still struggling, let's call him Eric, he doesn't have a hard limit. He has a vague sense that he should probably stop after a couple losses, but there's no line in the sand. So after his first loss, he tells himself, it's fine, one bad trade doesn't mean anything. After his second loss, he starts feeling uncomfortable, but he convinces himself the next one will be different. By the third loss, he's desperate, and now he's taking trades with 0 edge just to get back to even. He doesn't even realize he's revenge trading until it's too late, because he never drew the line. Here's the key. The limit has to be set before you trade, and it has to be objective, not based on how you feel, not based on whether you think you can recover, based purely on the number. 2%, 3%, whatever your risk tolerance is. But once you hit it, you walk away. No exceptions. This removes decision-making from the moment when you're least capable of making good decisions.
Step 2. You need a mandatory reset protocol between losses. This is the part nobody does, and it's why revenge trading keeps happening even when you know better. Here's what most traders do. They take a loss, they feel that spike of frustration, and within 30 seconds they're scanning for the next trade. They tell themselves they're being resilient, staying focused, not letting one loss affect them. But that's not resilience. That's avoidance. You're trying to outrun the emotional hit by jumping into the next trade before you've processed the first one. Your nervous system doesn't reset that fast. Even if you consciously think you're fine, your body is still in stress mode. Your heart rate is elevated, your decision-making is compromised, and you're about to take a trade from that state, which means it's probably going to be emotional, not strategic. Daniel has a rule. After every loss, he steps away from his desk for 10 minutes minimum. Doesn't look at charts, doesn't think about the next trade. He goes outside, drinks water, does anything that's not trading. When he comes back, his nervous system has calmed down. He can think clearly again. He's not trading from a place of urgency. He's trading from a place of clarity. Eric doesn't do this. He takes a loss and immediately starts looking for redemption. He's still feeling the sting of being wrong, and he's trying to fix it with the next trade. So even if he finds a decent setup, he's entering it with the wrong energy. He's not patient. He's not selective. He's desperate. And desperation doesn't win in trading. The reset doesn't have to be complicated. 10 minutes, a walk, a cold shower, something that breaks the pattern and gives your brain a chance to recalibrate. Without this step, you're just chain trading from an emotional state, and that's how accounts die.
Step 3. You have to reframe what a loss actually means. Because right now, every loss feels like failure, and that's the root of the entire revenge spiral. When you take a loss, your brain doesn't just register it as a bad trade. It registers it as evidence that you're not good enough, that you don't belong, that you're failing. And that emotional weight is unbearable. So your brain does what it always does when something's unbearable. It tries to fix it immediately. It pushes you to take the next trade, not because it's a good setup, but because winning will prove you're not a failure. This is the trap. You're not trading to make money anymore. You're trading to protect your ego. And your ego doesn't care about probabilities or edge. It just wants to feel okay again. Daniel made one shift that changed everything. He redefined what a loss is. A loss isn't failure. It's just data. It's the cost of doing business. If you trade with an edge, you're still going to lose 40, 45, even 50% of the time. Losses are built into the system. They're not a problem to fix. They're a reality to accept. When Daniel takes a loss now, he doesn't internalize it. He doesn't feel like he failed. He just marks it down, checks if he followed his rules, and moves on. There's no emotional reaction because there's nothing to react to. It's just part of the process. Eric still takes every loss personally. He feels it in his chest. He replays the trade in his head. He wonders what he did wrong. And because it feels so bad, he needs the next trade to work. Not wants, needs. And that need is poison. It makes him force trades. It makes him ignore red flags. It makes him risk too much, all because he's trying to escape the feeling of being wrong. Here's the shift. Losses don't mean you're bad at trading. They mean you're trading. The moment you separate your identity from your results, revenge trading loses its power. Because you're not trying to prove anything anymore. You're just executing a system that wins over time, knowing some trades won't work, and that's completely fine.
So here's the system. Predefined loss limit before you start. Mandatory reset after every loss. Reframe losses as data, not failure. 3 steps. That's it. Daniel hasn't revenge traded in 4 months, not because he has superhuman discipline, because he removed the decision from the emotional moment. Eric is still stuck in the loop, still bleeding money, still telling himself next time will be different. Same knowledge, same market, completely different outcomes. Here's what nobody tells you. Revenge trading isn't a weakness, it's a wiring problem. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do. Avoid pain, seek relief. But in trading, that wiring destroys you. The fix isn't trying harder, it's building a system that doesn't rely on willpower when your emotions are screaming. You already know revenge trading is killing your account. You've known for months. The question isn't whether you should stop, it's whether you'll actually build the structure that makes stopping automatic. Daniel did. His account is up 31%. Eric didn't. His account is dying slowly. 6 months from now, one of two things will be true. Either you implemented these 3 steps and revenge trading became a problem you used to have, or you're still stuck in the same cycle, wondering why nothing ever changes. The market doesn't care which path you choose, but your account does. Make the decision, set the limit, build the reset, reframe the loss. That's how you stop revenge trading. Not someday, right now.